welcome to a special pregame show as we get ready for the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. I decided I wanted to do a quick little pregame show just to get people hyped up. I will be joined momentarily by Mr. Sam Simmons to give his intake on tonight's game. I mean, it is a pivotal divisional game, as it always is. Philly versus Dallas is one of the best rivalries in football, if you ask me. You know, I just watched an awesome game between Kansas City and Buffalo pulled that one out. But I'm not here to talk other games today. We're here strictly to get you ready for Eagles Dallas, which I think is going to be a game of the year. So I'll give a minute for people that want to file in and say hello. Feel free. Like I said, this was a decision I made last night just to do a little pregame show. Originally, I was going to have Mike on with me. We were going to actually try to set up a studio outside, but he had something come up, so he is unable to join us. But momentarily, I will be joined by Mr. Sam Simmons to give the Dallas side of the show, because Sam being from Texas, he is a Dallas fan. I respect that. So, got two people watching, so good evening. Welcome to the special basement show. So, no one likes this. There you go, Kev. Sing the song loud, sing it proud. That's all I can say. But tonight is not going to be easy. Dallas is coming off a huge win last Sunday versus the defending Super Bowl champs, even though they're not playing like the Super Bowl champs. To get a win with a backup quarterback in Cooper Rush, who has not yet lost a start, Dallas has a lot of momentum. In the last couple of weeks, the Eagles have escaped by. Good evening, Prince. Thanks for popping in. I'm just waiting for my buddy to hop in, and we can go over like what it takes to win this type of game. So it's not going to be a super long show. The game starts in less than an hour. I got my two TVs rocking. I'm ready to go. Go to Lalo. We would touch base on that tomorrow night. I just saw the video clip of Tom Brady chewing out his offensive line. And I got to say, it was actually kind of humorous to watch. I mean, is it all Tom Brady, or is it so? I'm actually really nervous about this game, Prince. I mean, yes, we're 5-0, but the last couple of weeks, like, we had a nice decisive comeback versus Jacksonville, but that Arizona game just twisted my stomach a little bit. Like, yes, we won it. It was a good win, but that game could have gone a lot of different ways if one or two different things happened. So tonight is our first true test if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan. This is the game that you basically get hyped up for, psyched up for, from being a 5-year-old kid or a 35-year-old man. Like, this is the game every year that you circle on your calendar. Philly Dallas, hands down, is the game of the year no matter what, unless it's 2008 and the Eagles win 44-6. But I won't talk about that. That was in the past. I was at that game, though. But Dallas's front seven against all offensive line is the matchup I'm looking forward to, because Dallas has two perennial pass rushers in DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons. And here's Mr. Simmons now. Hello, Sam.
Sorry I'm about 30 seconds late here, but I'm here. That's all that matters. So,
You're here. Mike's not. That's a big plus. So,
well, I think this is going to be a great game. I'm excited. I am pumped. Win, lose, doesn't matter to me, honestly. Like, I just want a good game.
And I think you're gonna get it. I was just telling people, I think the key matchup to watch tonight is the Eagles offensive line and your front seven. How do they match up well against each other? Because Dallas has two of the best pass rushers in DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons in the entire NFL.
Oh yeah, we have one of the best pass rushing defenses this season. There are only maybe two or other three defenses that might be able to say the same. Now, who those are, I can't really say.
No,
But
well, Philly's been stepping up as of late, but no, still in the top, like they're in the top 10, but they're not that elite defense yet.
yeah, and so I think this is going to be an interesting matchup. Key things to look for right now, and I need to double check this real quick.
Good evening, Andrea. Hi from Lagoon.
Good evening, Andrea. Hopefully you and the kids are having an awesome time and having fun.
My buddy Prince is in here. Lalo is in here, so.
So CeeDee Lamb has been ruled active for tonight. He is officially active. He's on my fantasy team, so I was able to check that real quick. Now, Dalton Schultz has been ruled out, their tight end, who's a big part of that key front line there, blocking for Cooper Rush on a lot of plays. So, but he's out by coach's decision because he has a sprained PCL. So, as of right now, as far as I know, Cooper Rush is starting.
I've read that Cooper Rush is going to start. They're going to hold Dak out at least one more week. A2, welcome. Thanks for popping in with Andrea. The two Andrews in the building.
But I think key things for Dallas to win. Some keys are going to be continuing to uphold the that offensive line.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to continue to uphold that offensive line. If we can continue to hold that, then we're gonna have a lot more success.
I call
in
it
both.
tie.
What?
Well, I call it tie. I'm just reading comments.
Honestly, if it ends in a tie, that would honestly be hilarious. I would not lie. I would take a tie at this point because it's better than a loss. But so they need to hold up their offensive line. Their receivers need to make plays.
Both teams do, honestly.
Well, yeah. We are going to look for some big key plays from CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. We're going to need to get that run game going like we've had it in the last couple of weeks with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. Hopefully they continue to go to that run game. Even if it falls short the first inning or so, stick with it.
First inning, quarter.
First quarter. Sorry, I've been thinking baseball all day as well. Go Astros and go Phillies. I'll give your Phillies a shout out. So it's gonna be an interesting offensive matchup. Dallas this year has yet to score 30 points, and I think that's going to be a key. If we're going to beat you guys, if we're going to beat the Eagles, we're going to have to score more than 30.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're going to have to score more than 30 too. Like, your defense, like, it's all around, it's a really even match game, no matter what way you look at it, from offense to defense, special teams, like, across the board, this is even.
For sure.
Like, I'm looking forward to, you're going to have Darius Slay on CeeDee Lamb all night, and then on the other side, you're going to have Trayvon Diggs on A.J. Brown.
Yeah. Well, I will give you this. Philly has they haven't relied on A.J. Brown as much as I thought they would this season. They've been hitting some of those other receivers.
I mean, Jalen Hurts has been doing good spreading the ball around.
Yeah.
Plus, guys coming into his own. You got Devontae Smith having a big couple first games. A.J. Brown is due for a breakout game.
Yeah, and will this be it? I think if A.J. Brown has the same game that he had week 1, he had an amazing game week 1 coming into the season. Absolutely put up massive points for my fantasy team. But is he going to have one tonight? I think it's going to be a key to an Eagles victory. I think you're going to need A.J. Brown to have a more than just 5 reception game.
Yeah.
He's going to need to have a 7-8 with 150 yards and 2 touchdown game.
No, yeah, I can see that, but I'm also putting a lot of weight on Miles Sanders. And I think if he can start gashing your defense a little bit, that keeps your offense off the field, keeps our offense on the field. Like,
yeah,
the running backs for both teams are key tonight.
Well, I think one thing that the Eagles will not let Dallas do is run down that clock. There's going to be a lot of pressure coming from that defensive line and the linebackers and those outside safeties, because they're going to force Dallas into throwing the ball, short runs. That's going to be their key to success. Because if you look at the last 4 weeks with Dallas, and those last 4 weeks, you've had very low scoring games. Dallas has run down the clock, giving their opponents minimal possessions. And those few possessions that they have had have ended in punts or field goals. Dallas, as of right now, has not allowed more than 1 touchdown in any single game this year, including against Tampa Bay. So,
Cooper Rush is a hot quarterback though right now, and that's what scares me. Like I was telling you last week, he's what you call a pure pocket quarterback. He can go to pressure. He can step up. That's a lot different. Like Jalen Hurts has gotten a lot better in the beginning part of this year compared to last year. I think he's matured. He's progressed, but he's still panics once in a while, and that's when he also tries to break the pocket. Where I love quarterbacks that can run. It also worries me because one wrong hit, he's done, and we're going to Minshew. Granted, we have a reliable backup in Minshew, but you really want to have your backup playing against a top defense in Dallas. Not so much.
Yeah, well, I mean, after seeing what Cooper Rush has done, I'm not going to give any slack to any of these backup quarterbacks because
you guys have the most expensive one in the league right now in Dak Prescott, but that's a different story.
As of right now, and honestly, like with Cooper Rush, yeah, I really hope, and I think it's going to be a game time decision within the next probably 10, 15 minutes.
If I'm Dallas, I'm sorry, I'm sticking with Dak.
Oh, yeah. You sticking with Dak or Cooper?
Cooper, sorry.
Okay.
Just because he's a hot hand, you had the momentum going with him. Like, and coming into Philly not playing 4 games, it's tough. You know that.
Yeah.
So why not stick with the hot hand as long as you can?
Oh, yeah. Now, see, if you bring back Dak Prescott next week against a team like Detroit, that's okay. Detroit is the lower end of the NFL right now. It's not a huge game the way that Philly and Dallas is right now. Philly versus Dallas, this is a must-win for both teams. It really is, especially did the Giants lose this today?
No, they won again.
Did they come back?
They beat Baltimore 24-20.
Okay. I knew that they were, the last time I saw, they were down 20-17. So
no, they pulled it out.
Yeah, so especially with New York right there behind both, we're all right there. It's a must win for every team.
It's become a very competitive division all of a sudden. I'm shocked to see the Giants competing the way they are.
If you would have asked me at the beginning of the season, I would not have thought that it was going to be a 3-team race.
No one did.
I would have given you. I would have definitely given you Dallas and definitely given you Philly. But and if I had to choose a third team, it wouldn't have been New York. It would have been Washington.
No, I would have picked New York over Washington. Washington hits and Spurs.
Yeah. But so I think this is keys for the Eagles are going to be continue to spread the ball around. They're gonna have to hold the line.
Yeah, both sides of it.
Both sides. But I think I'm not sure about the Philly line, But
I'm not asking for a score prediction. You just know we can probably both agree it's going to be a one-possession game.
I think it will. Honestly, we may see a game like yesterday's Tennessee versus Alabama, where it's just touchdown after touchdown, and it comes down to a game-winning field goal. Now,
I hope not. I hate games like those.
Now, I'm just gonna say this. I hope it's called more consistently than that Alabama game was, but that's for a whole nother argument and a whole nother time. But
well, at least your college team wasn't embarrassed like mine was in Michigan. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, no, my UT Longhorns won, and well, Alabama. Well, they shot. Yeah. Anyway, we won't mention that game until later.
But you remember before we go any further? Do you remember making something like this? Lalo, I don't know if he's trying to stir a pot. I mean, he's trying to get me disowned by my family. If I would have put on a Dallas Cowboys fan jersey on, no offense to you, I'd be banned from my family's house. And I'm sure your parents would say the same thing if you put on an Eagles jersey.
Nope, my mom doesn't care about football. And my dad's a Vikings fan, so
you're lucky. I would be severely disowned. Mom, Dad, if you're watching, I promise it's not going to happen.
But I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's also I think Philly's going to have a little bit of advantage being in Philly. The Philly fans, I will give you guys that. You guys are loud. You make yourselves heard. I would argue more so than even in Seattle with their 12th man. We see how well that's doing them this year.
Yeah, but no one compares to Kansas City. I'm sorry.
That's true. That's true.
But I will tell you one thing. They're going to be extremely loud before the game because of all the back and forth this week. And Jason Peters dug himself a grave. We respected him. We loved him in Philly. But after his comments this week, I expect him to get booed tremendously.
We'll see. We'll see. But, sometimes, and I've seen this with coaches, sometimes when coaches move from one team to another and they tell the truth and they say, this is why I left, Eagles fans may feel betrayed, but I also think it's the organization feels a little hurt by the truth and they don't want to accept the truth.
Come on, you're talking about people who threw snowballs at a drunk Santa Claus back in the 70s, okay?
But I think
you want to respect coming back to Philly, you come back with an open mind, not saying that your fan base is a bunch of overhyped losers or something like that. I forget what he said, but
well, no, I'm just kidding. Some of them, but that can be said for every sports team. There are always those select idiotic few.
Yeah. So, now I'm going to ask you a question. I've been just 2 questions, and then we can wrap this up. Okay. Dallas wins the game what's your answer?
Dallas wins the game if their defensive line, if you can get that pass rush and start forcing, if we can continue to force Jalen Hurts out of the pocket, force him to use his legs, I think that's going to be one key. If they can force him, yes, he's dangerous on his legs, but I think he's less dangerous on his legs than he is throwing the ball.
All right. Now, reverse that. Dallas loses the game
if they can't get the run game going. I'm going to be honest. Without that run game, they're not going to be able to do anything. If they can't get Elliott and Pollard going, and it has to be both of them. It can't be one. It has to be both. If they can't get them going, then they're not going to win.
All right. Well, my thing is Billy wins the game if we keep doing our thing on offense. So if you continue to ground pound it, and then Hurts makes the smart decisions to find the open receivers. We lose if they try to force too many things. Dallas is a team that if you let hang around, they will bury you. Yeah. And we've seen that the first 5 weeks of the season with Philly. They have that great kickstart first half, but then they coast. Tonight you have to play a full 60-minute game from start to finish. And you got to get in Cooper Rush's face. Because if he sits in that pocket, he's going to pick you apart.
Yep, I agree. So if that offensive line, that's another, if Dallas doesn't do this, they lose. If they don't hold that line, if they cannot give Cooper Rush the time to throw the ball, then we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, because Philly, they're not, like they say, they're not a blitzing team, but their front four can get to the quarterback. Your line has to contain that.
Yeah. So we're going to see. I mean, let's see. Chris says 27-17 Eagles.
I'll go to that tie. I don't make score prediction, so.
I for this type of game, no way. For if you want to ask me what do I think the score between Dallas and Detroit will be, or what I think the Eagles and who do the Eagles play next week?
Bye week, vacation week.
Okay, who's the Eagles' next game?
Pittsburgh.
Okay, if you want to ask me that score prediction, I can give you that. If you want to ask me, Dallas versus Detroit next week, I'll give you that. But Dallas versus Eagles, there's no telling. We could have a 14-0 game. We could have a 49-52 game. There's no telling.
Well,
there's really no telling.
If you want, I know you're going to the game next Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
San supposed to have a Cowboys game in the new football stadium. If you want, I'm off on Sunday. We can do how I did the live Washington show. We could maybe try to see if you want to do a live show from Texas.
We'll see. We can see that might be coming. I'll look into it.
All right.
Definitely look into it. But I plan on being at the stadium about 10:30. It's a noon game, so
that's how I was in Washington. So
yep,
it's gonna be fun. No, we'll set something up. I'm off next Sunday.
I'll let you know. I'll get in on that. But it is almost game time here.
Yeah.
We have our game on NBC tonight. I gotta show my star. Gotta show my star.
Lovely Chris Collinsworth.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have it muted anyway, so that won't bother me.
Well,
but how about that, real quick? How about that Buffalo beating Kansas City?
24-20. I have the two TVs. I have the two TVs going.
So that was that's. I'm not surprised. I figured they'd come out. So
I promise you I'll keep this between 20 and 25 minutes. So thanks for popping on. Like, if we want to talk after the game, through the game, my phone's always on. But if not, we'll be live tomorrow night for Russo's recap. So
unlike some Dallas fans, I will say good luck to the Eagles. It's gonna be a good game though.
Should be.
I'm excited.
I can't say good luck because my family might be watching, but deep down in my spirit, I'm saying, I promise.
But so let's go enjoy the game, and we will I'll be watching, and maybe we can meet up after the game, depending on how late it goes. We'll see.
Hey, I'm off tomorrow, so we can be as late as you want. Plus,
I'm not.
Plus, look at the bright side. We're both adults, and it's a primetime game. We get to watch the whole game.
Yeah.
So, I'll talk to you during the game, Sam.
Awesome. Have a good night, guys. Enjoy some football.
Amen. Adios.